Let me just start off by saying that Lena Dunham is a sloppy, whorish, slurry, gangly, ghastly, disgusting, worthless, talentless, couthless, pasty, crappy, disgusting, disturbing, unsightly, unattractive piece of shit. And she's a cunt, a bitch, a child molester, ugly, oogly, fugly, foogly, and if there's anything else, I'll come up with it later on. But she's all of that and a whole lot more. I, as you can tell, cannot stand this woman. She literally is like in the top 10 people I can't stand. Now let's get into it. Shout out to Kimberly, Frazier, and Harvey because they are the first two people that I saw actually do commentary about this. Now, if you're looking at this image right here, that right there is that gangly thing. Oh my God, that thing is disgusting. She looks like a slab of dried up mayonnaise. And the person that she's leaning over towards is Brad Pitt. So they are promoting their new film, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I think it actually is already out in theaters, starring himself and Leonardo DiCaprio, and Quentin Tarantino is the director. And apparently Lena Dunham has a small part in it. It must be so small because when I was looking at the trailers and everything like that, I did not see her in one promo. So it must be a very small, insignificant part. But anyway, as you can see in this picture right here, Lena Dunham took it upon herself to, I guess in her own way, shoot her shot and try to plant a kiss on Brad Pitt. Unbeknownst to him, like he didn't even reach out for this woman to even give her a hug, or maybe he thought that's what she was giving him, but he turned it into what will be assumed to be a kiss. And when people got a hold of this and saw that this was a story, they instantly said that it was sexual harassment. We can go with that because he didn't ask her or tell her that she had permission to do that. She invaded his space. Now, this is a woman who literally lashed herself to the whole Me Too times up thing, and she's a feminist, and this is another reason why I can't stand them, because all of them are a bunch of hypocrites for the most part, especially those Me Too heifers. Can't stand them. That's why I call them heifers. If you don't know what a technical heifer is really a cow. A cow, something in the cow family, whatever it is, but I think that's what it is. And ironically, that's exactly what she looks like. But she got caught under fire because of this, and they basically said that it was sexual harassment. And you know what? I say let it stick. And it's funny because this woman put in her own book that she molested her own younger sister. She still had a career. She even, when Aurora Perrineau came out and said that her friend had sexually assaulted her, she got on cold real quick and said that there's no, in so many words, no way that her friend could have did what he did. No, she said that 1 in 3 women lie about rape. So basically what she's saying is that Aurora was one of those 3 in that stat. Now, Aurora is the daughter to Harold Perrineau. Aurora will be defined as by some people to be quote unquote mixed. But at the end of the day, when Lena Dunham responded to that, she saw her as a black woman. Now, had she been completely white, she probably would have been on her side, or she may have still remained on cold and been there for the defense of her friend, because her friend was the one attached to that show Girls. And I never watched one single solitary episode of that show. Lena Dunham is also the same woman who tried to push up on Odell Beckham at the Met Gala a couple years ago and then got upset when he didn't go to her advances, basically trying to put out the stereotype that black men will just fall all over any old white woman. no matter how she looks. Now, when I saw how she looked, she had this tux on and she had her hair slicked back. She looked like a straight up dude. That's probably what he thought she was. He probably didn't even know who this chick was. But she did it anyway. And she still didn't face any repercussions. It didn't happen until now when she tried to plant this kiss on Brad Pitt. And now they're saying that she did sexual harassment. She should have been called out on her BS years ago, in my honest opinion. And she's not the only one out there that's like that. But see, that's why I could never take that Me Too thing seriously, because they are so one-sided. They are only there for the benefit of white women trying to take down any man they possibly can. They will mention white men, but their real mission is to go after black men, as we have seen in recent cases or recent scenarios. Lena Dunham is the definition of toxic femininity, and I put that in quotes because it is nothing feminine about her whatsoever. Nothing to me from her exudes femininity whatsoever. To get a little off course right quick, this also reminds me of when Madonna did a concert, and I think Drake was there. Now, some of y'all know where I'm going with this. And she called herself giving Drake a lap dance, and she looked about as stiff as a department store mannequin. And then when she was done giving her pseudo lap dance, she planted a kiss on his lips unbeknownst to him. And he had this look on his face like he ate expired spinach. He ran off that stage and threw up behind the scenes. And all she could do was laugh it off. That, in a way, could have been seen as sexual harassment too, because he didn't know that she was going to do that. And he didn't ask her to do it. And you could tell by his reaction that he didn't know it was going to happen. And him throwing up was definitely a reaction where he was like, oh my God, I can't believe this actually happened. Now, if this was back in the 90s when Janet Jackson was doing her lap dances, which was way more attractive, and I think that's probably who she pulled it from, and she did a horrible job of it, if that's the case, then he probably would have been more accepting to it. I mean, at that time, what guy wasn't accepting of Janet Jackson giving him a lap dance? Hell, her at 51, if she was to give a lap dance right now, what guy wouldn't want that? And I think at one of her shows, she did do it. But back to Lena Dunham. I have never liked this woman. I've never seen what people see about her. Like I said in the beginning, she's talentless. Like she's just your round the way typical white woman. I do not see the appeal to her. Now, maybe she might look attractive to the barnyard hog, but that's about it. That's about as far as it goes for me. But I'm glad that they called this chick out, because it's been long overdue. But unfortunately, that's as far as it's probably going to go. Her career will most likely still remain intact. But I think one major reason why they came for her in this instance is because it was Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was seen, especially back in the 90s and early 2000s, as a very sought after guy in Hollywood. All the women wanted to be with him. A lot of guys wanted to be like him. And today he's still considered as Hollywood royalty, which is way above this chick's pay grade. If he's royalty, she would be considered a peasant. And if this was in, say, Game of Thrones time, it would have been off with her head for doing something like this. But yeah, I can't stand Lena Dunham, and I can't stand her sidekick Amy Schumer either. I remember when I had to grill her a couple years ago on my original channel for some stuff that she said in pertaining to black men. And she was trying to be real slick about it, but you had to really, really examine what she said to catch what she said. Lena Dunham is no different. This woman tries to use her being a woman to be extremely and overtly aggressive, But if the roles were reversed and Brad Pitt, God forbid, did this to her, oh, Me Too would have came out with the drag alarm, waving that flag, and all kinds of allegations would have came up against Brad Pitt. They would have probably dug into his past and said he did this, that, and the third to Angelina Jolie. He did this, that, and the third to Jennifer Aniston, and a whole bunch of other stuff, you know, going back to probably when he was sleeping with Robin Givens. Yes, I went all the way back with that one. So it's a huge double standard. That's another reason why I can't take Me Too seriously. It's a double standard in a couple ways. One, it doesn't cater to black women whatsoever. I remember when Lupita Nyong'o came out and said that Harvey Weinstein had did something to her, and that went silent almost as soon as it went out. Aurora Perrineau said that her friend, Lena Dunham's friend, did something to her, and that went quiet as soon as it came out. Then, of course, and I hate to use him as an example, but I'll use him in this instance because it fits. Terry Crews, what happened with him? It went silent as soon. Well, he tried to keep it as loud as he could, but you know he just can't help but buck dance. He taps all the taps out of his tap shoes. But I use that as an example because they'll never take a man seriously if they say a woman has sexually assaulted them. But like I said, because it's Brad Pitt, and see the thing is Brad Pitt didn't come out and say that this woman did this to him. The pictures spoke for themselves and the internet got a hold of it. And like I said, when the internet gets a hold of something, that's it. When the internet got a hold of it, then the internet decided to make her the guilty party, which I am actually glad they did, because this woman needs to be called out on her crap once and for all. I'm like, she literally told you in her book that she molested her daughter. I mean, not her daughter, her sister. And she still had a career. She tried to push up on Odell Beckham. He probably just laughed it off. And now this. I hope she's sitting somewhere in a corner right now, eating whatever. Not that she needs to, because like this, I can't stand, listen, I can't stand this Snorlax built bitch. I just can't. I never could. She's a hypocrite. She's a liar. She's a child molester. I don't know how in the world she attached herself to Me Too, because she definitely Me Too'd her own sister. She's a slut. She's a cunt. She's a whore. And that's all I have to say about this. Y'all let me know what you think about it down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll talk to you in the next one.